Hello from the yarn closet in southern Arizona. Today, sorry to say, is just a reality day. It's a total reality check. So I haven't shampooed in 3 days. I haven't yet taken my shower today. But I have some stuff to talk about and to show you, so I thought I'd come on as real. Oh. Last night my neck went out as I was going to bed, and it's kind of back in, not really. One of the other things I have is a bone disease. My neck is fusing. So every once in a while you just turn or twist the wrong way, and it doesn't take much. And I get severe nerve pain, and literally they don't prescribe anything for you anymore. So that's fun. And then usually from icing and taking Benadryl to sleep, which you're not supposed to take now because it'll give you dementia. Well, that's great. Do you know how much Benadryl I've taken in my lifetime? And But now, over the next few days, there's more of a chance of it going wonky. And then the chiropractor's basically like, I can't really do anything anymore. I can barely adjust you on a regular basis. So I've been getting monthly massages and tried to get the massage the day before the chiropractic, and that's not really helping either. So I don't know where that leaves me, other than to spend more money out of pocket to do these things that aren't covered, and to do them more often and just see where we go. I mean, there's just so much to balance in a life that you got to make choices, and certain things fall by the wayside. But oh, Nelly. And I'm trying to grow my hair out, and I got a haircut a few weeks ago. Not over the moon with it. The under is longer than the outer, and she did all these layers when I said blunt. So, and the reason that I went with this is because my hairline has receded back so far that to pull my hair back, I feel like, that's not good. So I just want to get it blunt and a little bit shorter so I can loosely pull it back into a ponytail and still hide that lovely ageness. But, and for some of you that know, I put my dog Chip to sleep last week. That was very hard. I've had him a long time, and he was really starting to suffer. Idiopathic seizures. Monsoon season has been god awful on him with that, and it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to sit there with them, and it's a hard thing to do. And I get a lot of criticism from family for doing it, but you just want to put all the old people to sleep? No, I don't. But you can talk to an old person human, and I've been talking to my dog, and as ridiculous as you think, I mean, incontinence and not being able to cope with monsoons and stuff. I mean, it's just tough. It's tough, but I feel like he's at peace now. I have to believe that. And we still have little Mitzi, my daughter's dog. Yeah, it's been a rough couple of years because we had these dogs that were all age-wise together, so it's been like boom, 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 boom. Some health issues with some cats. We got rid of all of our farm animals. Mitzi, it's okay. Lay down. We're down to 2 chickens because we just had a coyote attack that wiped out the other 3, 4, whatever we still had. Yes, we have a building that they live in. It's a secured building, but when they want to get in, they'll climb up on the roof. They'll get in through the venting. And honestly, it was the middle of the day the other day. So they're out in their big secured run that has these fences that are, well, when they were put in, they were about 6 feet, but because of shift, they're about 5.5 now. And they got them during the day. So what are you going to do? And unless we were to get really big guardian animals that lived outside, and I mean dogs, I don't know what we would do. And I don't like the idea of a dog living outside in this environment, or any environment, to be honest. I believe in indoor-outdoor pets. Right, because I wouldn't make you live outside. Why would I make a 100-pound dog live outside? I just wouldn't. And I know service animals, and I know working animals like their work. And everybody can do their own thing. I emotionally can only handle so much right now, so that's what I'm handling. Hey, would this work better? Let's try it. I just recently got rid of a broken cat stand that was over here. Oh, that does work better for the next part. So let's get to the knitting. Screw the rest of this life shit, because it's like that. It's screw it. I finished the last blanket with, the motivation in color was the desert. So the desert is very green right now, but it's normally sandy, sunny, and these cool whatever. So I make these blankets that are long enough and wide enough for one person, but also living in the desert. The nice thing is, and I know the colors on this one were a little wonky, but I think my aunt that I'm giving this to will actually appreciate it. She's very 70s hippie chick vibe. These are those 70s colors. She's got a lot of greens and browns in her house and some peach. So, she'll appreciate the motivation. And that is all of my husband's local family, women, children, and my uncle. He's the patriarch of the family, so he got one. None of the other men did. And then I just got, so people were asking because I sold my sock machine. I've owned 2 sock machines. I owned an Erlbacher, which I loved, and a Dean & Bean, which I loved a little bit, but they were both persnickety in their own ways. And I've gotten a lot of mechanical things over the years to try to figure out if I could become good enough that as my eyesight worsens, because I'm legally blind, that would I still be able to do it? And I just decided it wasn't worth it. So I recently sold my Dean & Bean. And here's the cool thing. What you can do is you can go to, this is one of my favorites on Etsy. You can look up sock tubes on Etsy, and you can buy sock tubes of any variety you want. So I just got a couple of 60 stitch for my daughter, because she's been wanting more wool socks. And I got some 64s for me, because once again, I'm at home, so I'm literally in my sock feet most of the time and running outside and whatever. And I totally believe in the grounding. I mean, I have grounding sheets on the beds now. And I can go in and I can knit a patch over this. And I probably will. I just haven't. It's been like this for a week. The one thing I noticed on her site the other day, and here's another trick for your wool, homemade wool socks. Some people are grossed out by it. Don't put them in the washing machine. Wash them in the sink and throw them in the dryer when you do a low or a medium dryer, and then just pull them out, and it kind of, without totally killing them. She also had a few socks for sale that she'd made. So I got one. Why not? I'm very excited about it. Because I don't normally put the heels in anymore. And my heels always seem wonky anyway. And these are very pointy. Um, and I've got a very wide and flat foot because I'm not in shoes most of the time. So my toes splay more, and they're supposed to, and this has helped immensely with my bunions. But, because here's the deal, people, I'm not getting surgeries unless I absolutely have to. And then she was also selling some little sock minis, some opals. So I got a bright color to go with some stuff. Because I need to go through my yarn and whatever. But one of the things I finished, I had to give my blue sweater a rest. And soccer's really challenging. My daughter's in soccer. And our coach is like, there will be no screaming from the sidelines or I will stop coaching. So literally, like during the game, if we all start shouting too much, he will just stop. And he'll stop telling them what to do. And so I just have to have an easy project to work on. And so I made the double hexagon. So you make 2 hexagons and then you seam them together. Because you can fold a hexagon into like an L shape. So I seamed the backs together on the inside and then I seamed the arms up on the top. I just wanted it more decorative, as a decorative feature. And so this is 1 hexagon folded. This is the other hexagon folded. And then you literally seam them all the way. You seam it all the way. So at first, I only seamed up to here, thinking I needed to leave a bigger neckline. You don't. You seam it the whole way. And then I was thinking that I was going to maybe put some more rows on the bottom to make it a little bit longer in the back. Because of course this dips a bit in the front and it's a bit shorter in the back. And it's a bit kimono-y because the longer you make your hexagons, the bigger your arms are. So you could make smaller hexagons to have a more fitted fit and then do additional stuff. So I'm thinking about making another one. And pulling the sleeves in for a more balloon cuff, but I decided for this one I'm just gonna go like that. So I did a little crochet. I really like this crochet through the back loop detailing, you know, and then I just did 3 rows here. I did 5 here and 3 here, and you know, this went around the whole thing. And then the cuff. And I just decided to leave it like that. These are short enough that they're to my wrist. You know, they're to my wrist. But they're open. They're not going to get into stuff when I'm working on stuff. I live in Arizona. So for the cold, which is usually air conditioner driven, this works. I haven't even blocked this yet. I know it'll grow a little bit too when I block it. I'm not really looking forward to that. So there might be drier minutes in the future. God be with me. But yeah, that is most of the yarn chatter. And so I got rid of this broken thing. I'm really trying to weed out a little bit more aggressively some of the things, which is hard to do when you have a family and you live with a hoarder man. I mean, I can barely walk through the garage, and we have a really nice garage for Arizona to get in and out of the car. And now my son has got his permit, so we're doing some daily drives to get him practicing. He's excited and not excited, as it were. I'm also, like, I have this Hague linker. I would love to sell that. And I also possibly have a flat knitting machine that I would also like to sell, like I did my other stuff. But it's a lot to package stuff up and get to the post office and get it mailed off. And the shipping costs have really gone up. And I think people are not thrilled about that when it comes to this stuff. But so be it. So be it. It's that thing. Have you gotten to the point where your drive to get rid of it is more about just making the space? So if you really make, you know, you've already spent the money. You have no money, but if you get rid of it, then you're going to have some money, even if it's much less than you wanted. Ooh, that one came out. Why is this one not coming out? There we go. So I don't know what is causing these guys to be problematic because they seem absolutely fine. And these were brand new needles. Having some issues with my knitting machine. It just might be that, what is that about? Just might be, that it needs a bit more of a clean. I hate having to replace needles. Now let's see where that is. Because I make my machines bigger, sadly there's a seam on the sponge in the back. And I'm usually very good about, yeah, that was just barely on where the seam would be. Oh, I could see why that one would be an issue. Just barely. Yeah, I think I need to just clean it. I feel badly that I am not on this more and doing more for me, but I'm at a phase in my life where it's hard to even figure out what that thing looks like because there's just an underlying huge amount of stress. And I'm praying that you're not in that phase. And I'm hoping that we're all able to still look with our eyes first, or our heart first, not our eyes. Because I think there's far too much looking with your eyes first in this culture. I mean, I just am constantly thinking that I need to be back in my heart and trying to look from my heart to people, and it's tough. So I love you, and I'm glad you're doing this with me, and I really appreciate you.